Okay, hello guys. Today we're gonna be doing another one of the Owasp labs, one of the Owasp Skf labs, and the one that we're gonna be doing today is gonna be called Python login bypass, or the Sqli login bypass. I'll link below, down below, the write-up that I used to help me solve this. So let's get started. So once we load up the Docker container, once we start the Docker container, we get this little. Close this. We get this little login. It says authentication. It says proceed to authenticate yourself or log in. So we're gonna try logging in with, I guess, default credentials, which is what we usually do, admin. And then looks like we didn't log in. Admin password. Nothing. Didn't log in. So like the thing says it's a Sqli login bypass, and as we know, Sqli, you wanna like get errors or something when you're doing. So I guess what we're trying to do is generate a type of error. So let's just put like a single quote or something, and then I don't know, like admin, and then admin, see if we get an error or something. And we get near admin syntax error. So we got a syntax error of this, and if we just click on this, maybe it'll give us like a dropping admin schema syntax error. So like a SQL, looks like it's a SQL error. And just to be sure, we can just check what's inside the Docker container. So if we go to, nope, my bad. So if you go right here, we could check what's inside the Docker container, just to be sure, because who doesn't love source code? So we'll run this command. Oh, I'll just show you. So first do docker ps to get the IT container ID, and now all we need to do is just type docker exe with the IT control shift C, and then bash shell inside. Now we're inside the Docker container, and now we could check the Sqli bypass login. And then if we were to check the source code, we could see on login, so database access, request form keys, if username and passwords, it's where we pass in username and password. Let's put in username and password values. They're validated in Sqli valid user, and it says right here unsafe function. So if we check right here above, we can see that it gets Sqli validate users from model Sqli model. So if we go back right here and go inside models, we see a Sqli model. So we can just cut that. So right here we can see validate users. So how is it validating users? So it passes in the username and password. Select username and password from where username, then the username gets passed right here, and password gets passed right here. So I guess when it comes to SQL injection, what we're trying to do is find a way to only commit this part of the code, and so the rest of this part of the code gets omitted out or commented out. Because if we do select username and password from user where username equals admin, I'm guessing for the admin user, and then we comment the rest of this out. So that means it is not checking for the password. All we're doing is just checking only for the username. So it's basically like logging in while only knowing the username, and that's how we're gonna beat this challenge. And since there's no type of filtration or nothing going on, we just pass in a simple Sqli SQL injection. So if you go back to this right here, so if you do something like admin, then after that end it, and then do this, which is just, this represents comments in Sqli, and then we could put like your mom or something like that, something similar. So what this is gonna do is it's only gonna pass in the admin username and anything after just gets commented out, so we don't have to worry about the password. If we were to put in submit button, you see that we get logged in as admin without even knowing the admin password, which is pretty crazy. If you go back, I wonder if we could just do it like this, admin. No, that didn't work. So yeah, so we're gonna have to close it. If we reference our code right here, yeah, you see how it's closed right here? There's parentheses right here. So we put this right here, so it'll be where username is equal to, that's already in there, but if we pass an admin and then close it off and then comment it out, and then everything after this gets put. So all of this is just a comment and password. All of this gets commented out, so we only pass in. So technically, only the SQLite query that's getting passed in is where username equals admin, which is all we need to do just to get log in as admin, which is basically it. So just admin again, password, submit button, and you are logged in as admin, and that's about it. I'll link down below the write-up so you guys can go over it and see for yourself, but that's about it for the most part. And you can check a quick look. I think they use this, they have a better explanation of what's going on, but that's basically how I explained it. So I don't know. That's about it. Peace.